Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear and I'm here to build a Lego set and then start a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. You don't have to say anything. You just hang out. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It is a Thursday. It's also August 1st. It's a new month. Ghost Valve's here. Hello, Ghost Valve. So we're starting things off August right with Lego and model kits, the stuff I like to build. A cool model kit with fun weapons and a Lego set that looks neat that I have no real connection to other than think it looks neat. Because again, I've never seen a moment of DREAMZzz, but this vehicle looks real neat and I picked it up for a good price and now I'm putting it together. That's the agenda. There's no hidden monstrosities behind anything here. I'm just building fun stuff that I think is fun. And we're going to talk about a bunch of things and things. Let's go to the overhead camera here. There we go. As we get that all loaded up, working on this particular Lego set, which we will start there. I do want to just say real quick, because I didn't say it in the other thing. Boom, we are currently at 26 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about it at 40. If you would like to become a subscriber, you can do that now. And you could join the gift sub leaderboard. Hello, Lord Crashin, and welcome. You can join the gift sub leaderboard by becoming a subscriber. You could also gift a sub to somebody in the community. Ghost Valve just subscribed at tier 1 for 39 months, saying almost a year, which is a lie, but incorrect. But also, thank you very much, Ghost Valve. So let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat so we can thank Ghost Valve. We'll do it down here. Oh, we can do it like this. You can kind of see in both places. That's right. I figured that out. Double hands. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ghost Valve for resubbing 39 months is a whole lot of months. So what I was saying there is, if you wanted to become a new subscriber, if you haven't subscribed before, or you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you would benefit from that. From now until the 19th of August, you can get 3 months of Apple TV Plus when you gift a sub or subscribe for the first time. So there's an incentive there, a little bonus. Get yourself some Apple TV Plus. Catch up on those shows that you saw tweets about that you never got around to watching. I don't know. Or other documentaries, a bunch of things and things. Reportedly, pretty solid kids programming over there on Apple TV Plus. I started saying Apple Plus, and then I realized I got to say a TV somewhere in there, and then I don't. Anyway, forgot to mention that at the top of the show, so I'll mention that now. Let's work on our dreams car. It is important for me to talk to you very briefly before we get into like quote unquote real shit. I do want to just give like a little bit of a life update, a little bit of a personal update here, just so you know what's going on with your friend Pat. I am sad to report that the tacos that were purchased on Tuesday, unfortunately, 3 of the 10 taco shells were broken, and that's unacceptable. Unfortunately, the risk, reward of you buy a box of taco shells and you hope that none of them are damaged. You look at the box, there's no dent on the box. You do your due diligence, you do the best you can, you take the gamble, and unfortunately for me, your friend Pat, that gamble did not pay off. Now, what do you do in that scenario? It's important, like these are decisions, when you're making these decisions, like, you got to think about like, what are my alternatives? And the alternative was nachos. Now, do I think that store-bought corn tortillas, or corn tortillas shaped in a taco shell, broken up into bits, are the same as getting tortilla chips for use in nachos? No. But it does, you make do. You make do with what you're given. You suck it up. You make yourself some nachos, and you have a pretty good time. Would have been better than having some tacos? No. Now, when we're talking about store-bought hard tacos, Wait. Wait a minute. I did. No, okay. It fits right there. All right. I was like, did I do something wrong? No, I didn't do anything wrong. I've used taco shells for makeshift taco salad of sorts. Yeah. Lord Crescent, that also would have worked. I could have used it, just crunched it up and made a taco salad. I think that would have worked as well. I came down on making nachos. These are not my preferred, right? I live with two other people, right? When we eat meals together, compromises are important. I like hard shell tacos enough that I don't complain about it because my mother does not enjoy soft shell flour tortillas, which is my preferred. I like to make either small mini tortillas or larger tortillas. Not like burrito size, but whatever. I prefer that. I like to make a soft shell taco. That is, again, how I like to do things and things. That's how I like to go in on it. But I know that not everyone goes for that. So compromise is made, as I said, and that compromise is I eat the things that I don't mind instead of having someone eat things that they don't want to eat. Because if I had it my way, I would just make tortillas because they are not the most difficult thing to make. They're not the easiest thing to make, but they're not the most difficult thing to make. I can and have and will again make my own flour tortillas and on the smaller side, and then just make tacos that way. Lastbrick says I pretty much only had hard shell tacos from Taco Bell. Yeah, so like you may be familiar with the comedy song White People Taco Night. And that has been my experience. Taco shells from the grocery store, hard shell tacos, like, Ortega sauce, lettuce and tomato and black olives. Like, do you ever, the outside of on like loaded nachos, do you ever really, when you're getting a taco, do you see black olives on a taco? No, but you see them in my house. That is part of the thing. But yeah, I much prefer soft shell tacos. That is how I enjoy it. I like a grilled or seared chicken, or steak, or a chili taco. Ooh, a chili taco? Forget about it. That's not good for you, but it's real good. Big fan of that. Big fan of that nonsense. All right, so then this is going to be the outside here. It looks like this car. There's a car mode here, which we're going to build, and then there are like two other modes. There is the flight mode. Oh, you can't see that. So we are about to build the car mode, which is this here. And then after that, we are going to build what is in bag 3, which I've already knolled, which is the two different modes. The all-terrain mode that apparently also there is a little flying, two little contraptions. And we also are going to be building the, I guess, flight mode. So we will do that. But first, we're going to build the car mode. I did know this kit had some transformations. I didn't know it was this many. I think that's neat. All right, how does this piece go in? They go like that. Okay. So this goes in like this, and that goes in like that. Great, nice and easy. Low Crash says we have a rule: if you order the nachos to share. ... Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the second half is there, but I assume it is if you order nachos, you are ordering that you have to share them. I think that's what you're implying there, Lucretia. I'm not 100% sure about that rule. But I will say for me, for your friend Pat, I made nachos just for me, and then there were still some taco shells, and other people were able to have tacos, and it was fine. One person can't just eat all the fully loaded nachos. Oh, okay. You can't get nachos for yourself? All right, I guess. One thing about this vehicle here is I don't know if you're going to be able to see the driver. If I put Mr. Oz in here. Oh, it's a I think you should leave bit. Yeah, okay. I have watched I think you should leave. I have, but many of the gags have not stayed in my mind. Those are not gags that live. Nothing from I think you should leave lives rent free in my head. I'll say that. Okay, yeah, you can't even see the driver. You can kind of see the driver in there, but anyway, that's Mr. Oz's space car edition. So I'm going to take a photo of that, and then we'll move on, and we'll do some transformations of this car, get some stuff going here, do some alternate versions. Reverse the car. The car has been photographed. Yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that. I don't know. There's no good reason for me to talk about that stuff, but I thought I would. Let's see. Okay. I think the primary thing that we should talk about at the beginning here is, unfortunately, we do need to start talking about layoffs. We do need to get into the layoff talk here. We got to build a little guy here. We're building a space monkey apparently, which sure, yeah. Let's build a fucking space monkey. Build a little space monkey friend, and space monkey friend has a wrench apparently. Will fit in that space monkey's hands here. I don't know how that works, but it does. Yeah, just wedge that in there. There, little space monkey friend. That's fun. Anyway, yeah, so we kind of need to talk about this. All right, let's build the one of the modes here. We're going to take the wheels off first. Destiny. Cut 220 jobs. That's after in October, they cut 100-something jobs. So it's in addition to that, they've cut now 220 more. And over 100 employees no longer work for Bungie. They now continue to work for Sony, but they are not Bungie employees anymore. They are in different studios or different projects. Or in one case, the publisher who owns the developer said, oh, this game you're prototyping as a thing to do after you do, like, once your, the Destiny teams are kind of winded down on some stuff, and then you've got to be working on Marathon, you have the next project, right? You get a small team to start working on the next project, so then you can start ramping up. No, that team doesn't work for Bungie anymore. That team is a new studio within Sony working on this next thing. That sounds bad, no matter how you put it, and there's no sugarcoating this. I think I keep saying Destiny. I think Bungie is not going to be a going concern the way we think of Bungie in the future. What do I mean by that? I feel like there is going to be a Destiny team, a Destiny support team. There will be the people who are finished, that are doing Marathon and maybe updates or DLC to Marathon or whatever. But I think we are close to Destiny just being a game that people at Sony work on. And that being it. Because I don't know how you continue to... I am not convinced that Bungie is going to be a going concern. Because it doesn't seem to make the money that they need to make in order for Sony to leave them alone. So if Sony isn't going to leave them alone, then why? And yes, the latest DLC did very well for them. Seems to do very well. And yes, The C-suite at Bungie clearly makes fucking money. And they will continue to make money as Sony executives. But, like, the fact that Pete Parsons can afford vintage cars and has a vintage car fleet, like, there are two things that are important to recognize when we talk about these kinds of things. One is, him not having money doesn't solve any problems. If the C-suite of Bungie gave up everything but a base salary, they still would be laying people off and taking projects away from them and moving people around. That doesn't solve the problem that they spent too much money to buy Bungie. So even if I think that there's like clearly issues at Bungie and that things need to dramatically change there within the corporate structure within there, and I agree to that. The fundamental problem is Sony paid a lot of money for Bungie, and they're not going to get that money back. So they're just going to do what they think they need to do. Because $3.6 billion doesn't get paid back by a good Destiny expansion. You don't make $3.6 billion on a good Destiny expansion and a Marathon remake. Or new, you just don't. I mean, statistically, Lord Crashington, yeah, Luke Smith would be let go. Statistically, sure. They have laid off since October. They have laid off or moved 1/3 of Bungie since October. 1/3 of that company either no longer works there or works for a different division of Sony. So yeah, it would be statistically it would likely that Luke Smith doesn't work there anymore. But that to me that's a fundamental thing, right? They gave people a lot of money for a thing, and now they're like, oh wait, this thing doesn't immediately make us back that money, which it wouldn't, and there's no way it could. It's almost as if Bungie wasn't worth $3.6 billion. Almost like that. Ugh. But that to me is part of the conversation that gets lost. Like, obviously, a large portion of the conversation should be focused on the folks that got laid off. Folks got laid off in October, the folks that got laid off this week, the folks that have the 115 people that have moved to other places that are no longer Bungie employees, which is what they theoretically, like outside of, hey, a paycheck's a paycheck, I didn't get laid off, I'm psyched about this. There may be people who are like, I came to work for Bungie, not just a random team at Sony, that kind of stuff. But it's, that the people that were Bungie employees who are working on something, what could have been the next big Bungie game, and suddenly they're at another studio or laid off, or the thing they were working on just no longer exists in the same way. It's really rough, and the human cost should be focused on. But I think part of it, the thing that needs to be looked at is, hey, take Pete for his fucking statement to task. Please take the car man to task. I think that is reasonable to do. But I think if all the focus is on Bungie leadership, that it a bit misses the point. I think it's a bit missing the point, which is, hey, maybe Sony shouldn't have fucking bought Bungie. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. It's fucking it's infuriating that these fucking things keep happening. Um, uh, Running a game studio cannot be easy. Certainly, I understand that. Running a big studio, running a studio that is owned by when you're owned by your publisher. Should Bungie have sold? Like from a culture perspective, no. From a C-suite perspective, of course they should have sold. Selling themselves to Sony, because a reminder that they took money, they did take funding before they sold to Sony. They did take a round of funding, or several rounds of funding. So they did have creditors that would have come to them. So like if you're going to selling to Sony or Microsoft makes sense, right? Those are moves. And Bungie isn't going to sell themselves to Microsoft. That's just the culture would not do it. Are a lot of the people that were part of Bungie then still part of Bungie? No. But still, you're not going to get sold to Microsoft. But it's still like, okay, when you get sold for that amount of money, the people that bought you are going to want a thing. And that's not even taking into account like the possibility that perhaps, this was the plan all along. Because like, they let Bungie be the bad guy. Bungie had said, "Oh, we're not gonna lead the layoffs. This sale is definitely not gonna lead the layoffs." And of course, that's not true. That couldn't be true. They fucking shouldn't have said that like it was true, because there's no way that could have been true. Of course, there are going to be layoffs. But they came out and said that there wouldn't be. I am missing a piece here. I need this piece here. You see this piece right there? I need another one of those. It's a white piece, and now I am looking through all of the white. Oh, I found it. Great. It wasn't missing. I just couldn't find it. But yeah, I mean, I think Pete takes all the heat for this. And it is not fully warranted that only Pete take the heat for this, because there is a lot of heat to go around. And I don't have much else to say other than that. And my apologies that I don't have more to say about it, but that's just the reality of this. It fucking sucks. And if I was an employee of Bungie, I would assume that within the year, at best, I would just be a Sony employee. But I really do genuinely think that Bungie is just going to get fully absorbed, and it will just be a bunch of small internal studios and not a thing. I was fucking looking. I wanted to have some kind of positive story in the world of games. I don't know what this is, but it'll be attached to something. Maybe it makes this thing look like it flies because you snap it on here. I don't know yet, but I got this thing. But I did want to have some kind of positive story from the world of gaming, because it is easy to just be very negative in these things. So I did want to find one thing. So there is a new game dev team that exists that started up in July, towards the end of July, so not too long ago, obviously, because it's the first, named Outer Haven Games, which I don't particularly think is a great name, but whatever. It's not Outer Heaven, it's Outer Haven. And Outer Haven is working on an RPG named Techno Inferno, and they are former devs from Scopely and Unity. Austin Ashcraft and Stephen Fong. Ashcraft was known probably best for working on Star Trek Fleet Command, and Fong was part of the business and strategy department at Unity. Chuck Beaver from who's worked on Dead Space and Call of Duty as a writer. Kevin Cullen, who was from Scopely, and Eric Ackerman, who is a musician that's worked in games. But yeah, this is a new little studio. They're working on an RPG. That's literally the best I can give you as far as games go. Like, the best I can do is just be like, yeah, all right. Seems good. That is unfortunately what I got from you. Let's see. And then in other news, there Polygon did a whole feature, which I recommend, by Nicole Carpenter, about the Humble Games restructuring. We talked about that previously. Humble Games, and which was the publishing arm of the Humble Bundle store, the Humble People, which is part now owned by Ziff Davis under the label of IGN, but it is a Ziff Davis property. Not necessarily like IGN didn't go out and acquire them. That was a Ziff Davis thing, but they just put them under that umbrella. And they laid off their entire games team, so their entire publishing team, and said that the work would be done by any future work will be done by a third party that they had hired for that stated purpose. Is the wrong piece? Is this the wrong piece? No. How do I? Like, there we go. There it goes. Okay. And so yeah, there is a good story here by Nicole that I recommend. Taking a look at Squid Shock Studios, who released Bo Path of the Tea Lotus right before, like literally the week before all this went down. And now the Powell Group, which is a third-party consulting agency, is kind of handling the work, and just how like that has immediately made everyone's life more difficult. And specifically they're like, how do we do update? Because like we don't have access. Like, how do we do updates on consoles? Like, how do these things work? Like, just a lot of questions. And basically they were like, hey, so Stairway Games were like, hey, if you have a Steam version of this game, if you have the Switch version of this game, of our game, we will give you a Steam code, because we can update the Steam version, and we don't know if we'll ever be able to update the Switch version. And that's for Coral Island. Because they don't know... Oh, I'm sorry. The game isn't out on Steam, but they don't know if they're going to actually be able to get the game out on... Pull back. Coral Island had a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter backers were promised either the Steam version or a Switch version. They know they can finish the Steam version. They don't think they're going to be able to do the Switch port, so they're giving people that have bought, through the Kickstarter, basically bought the game that way, the ability to switch over to get a Steam code without having to buy the game again. I misread that. I have read this article, but I was misremembering what it said, so I want to correct myself. My apologies for that. All right, so let's get this thing together here. But then Humble Games rep Michael Brown, who is now just a Humble rep, I guess, was like, nah, they don't have to... What? They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Nobody has to do anything different. Everything is just going to work as it used to. Every project is moving ahead. It's like, sure it is. But also like, hey, why do studios say that they're not going to be able to update though? If that's true, why are the studios that you have deals with saying the opposite of what you're saying? Um, and he's just like, oh yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to get in touch with everyone yet. It's still a transition. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that sounds bad. Um, the steroid post, one of the reasons why they're like, hey, this is you haven't actually reached out to us yet. We have an update coming out. And so, like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, we can't just sit around waiting for new people to get in touch with us. And then a developer, Squid Shock Studios that made Bow, Path of the Tea Lotus said, the restructuring was a critical blow to our post-launch support. They have little recourse for updating or hot fixing its new title on Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. So again, they can do updates on Steam themselves, but they can't do any console updates, and they're a new game. So hot fixes are a thing that people rightly really fucking care about. And if they can't make those updates, they can't make hot fixes because they don't have access, because they don't have the contact info of the people that they need to make those. Like, it's gonna be real bad. Because, like, what incentive do players have to pick up this game if there's like a whole issue with the developer and their publisher? Like, it becomes this thing where it's like, I don't know. It sounds bad. Which obviously fucking sucks. Um, um, and then one of the co-founders of Meowza Games from Minko's Midnight or Night Market, which is also was part of this branding or this deal that is now pretty concerned about what's going on. Their statement was, I'm sorry, I gotta put a sticker on here. Their statement was, the game's porting plans are in limbo because they don't have the console backend permission. We also pushed out a build shortly before layoffs that reintroduced a few old bugs. Humble acted as the go-between and facilitated the contracts with the porters. So now we have no contact with the porting team nor the publisher to address this for the time being. We are waiting to hear from a representative, but so far haven't heard anything from them. Until we understand what sort of planned relationship we expect to have with them moving forward, we can't say with any certainty what the state of the ports will be in the near future. And that is the sentiment from a lot of these teams that have games that are out that suddenly their publisher closed, and then it's just like, well, then what happens now? Best way to handle dev relations with publishers is to fire everybody that did it. Yes, Lord Crashington, you fire everyone, you hire a third party, and then you don't have that third party scramble to get in touch with everyone they need to do damage control, because of course those studios are going to fucking post stuff because they don't have any other recourse other than to post their feelings. They got to post through it because nobody's talking to them. So you end up with it works out great. Everyone's so thrilled with what happens. There's no downside to any of these things. It's all a goddamn mess. Yeah. You just act like it's not a big deal. Introductions to the new contacts at Powell Group have started, but the pipeline for console ports is still an issue at the time of writing. And then apparently another developer was told that the Powell Group is here to find a buyer, that they are that they themselves, that it's not what Humble has said, that they are Humble hired the Powell Group to take over. That apparently, according to this developer that wants to be anonymous, that has published with them, so it said, actually, the Powell Group isn't even the final choice. They're there to facilitate a sale to another third-party company. So they're not even going to do that work because they're not there for that work. And again, this is just the word of someone who has to remain anonymous. So we can't, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But that is apparently a developer who has had making a statement there, which again does seem plausible. And apparently they were trying to sell it, and then a deal fell through, and so they inherited this as a problem, which is, again, they are a consultancy agency. They are not a publisher, which is the thing that people have brought up, saying if you wanted to do publishing and you didn't want to do it in-house anymore and you wanted to have a group take it over, why did you pick this consultancy agency? Why didn't you pick a boutique publisher? Partner with someone. Why is this the thing you've chosen to do? And it seems to be that the answer to that is, well, that wasn't the plan. This is the plan B or C, apparently. Again, this is a statement by someone who has chosen to remain anonymous. Giving support developers need is paramount to Humble Games. So yeah, the Humble Games PR person, who is still an employee of Humble in general, is basically just like, hey, everything's fine, and we're contacting these devs who are freaked out, but like, they don't gotta be freaked out. Everything's gonna work out just fine. It's like, that doesn't sound right. Also, the statement at the end of this piece came after publication and was updated, because they did not have a statement until the article published, and then released a statement. And then also, so am I saying that this article from Polygon moved the needle in any way, shape, or form? Who knows? I can tell you that apparently, according to the people that Polygon was talking to, once the article was published, suddenly they started hearing from the Powell Group. And that is a benefit to having media that covers a thing, in this case games, have people that do this kind of legwork. An article like this apparently ruffles enough feathers somewhere, and someone says, hey, why aren't you emailing these people? Fuck, what are we doing? We're paying you to do that job. You got to do that. Or whatever the case may be. And also, again, that PR statement from Humble Games PR didn't come until after the article was published, because originally they didn't want to talk to them about it. Which, like, yeah, sure. I hear that. Yeah. Hopefully things worked out for some of these people, because it's a bad time. It's a bad time. I think that's it for game news. Do I have other things to chit chat with you about? In the second hour, we will talk about a manga that I've been reading. It's an anime. Lord Crashin wants you to do the dance button. It's a new month, folks, and a new month means a new dance button. And here we go. Thank you for using your channel points for this. That's the new dance song. Do I like it as much as last month's dance song? No. Do I still like it? Yeah, it's fun. Again, it's not what we had previously, but I still think it's pretty good. Laura Crash says, I was going to redeem it earlier, but then you were going into the Bungie news, and that felt like a bad time to do it. I hear ya. Yeah. Like, I'm going to hit the dance button when I want to hit the dance button, or, people want me to hit the dance button, I will. But yes, that timing would have been a little off. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your restraint. I thought we were going to finish this Lego build tonight, but we might not start. We might not finish this. We might not actually start this next thing, because there was more builds to this than I thought. But I don't know. We'll keep going, obviously. Obviously, we're going to keep going. So for the rest of this hour here, hundreds of people lost their jobs. Time for the dance button. Yes. Let's talk about SummerSlam. That's this Saturday. I will not be watching WWE SummerSlam live in Cleveland because it is on a Saturday evening. And I would rather stream on Saturday on my normal stream time than watch this one wrestling show. I'm sure it'll be fun, but I don't need to watch it live. I can just watch it after the fact because it'll still be on Peacock. So I'm just going to watch it after the fact. But I did want to at least go through some of the card so we can talk a little bit about it. It's a lot of singles matches on this show. This will be kind of a long show with a plethora of singles matches. We've got 7 matches on the card. All of them are singles. There are like 2 tag title matches on SmackDown this week. But yeah, so we got 7 singles matches. In no particular order, Damian Priest defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. I believe there will be shenanigans that will prevent Damian Priest from retaining his title. I think this is the summer of Gunther. I think there needs to be somebody from one of the king or queen of the ring needs to win, and I don't think Nia Jax is winning, so therefore I think that it is going to be Gunther. I think it is time for Gunther to win. I do not think a loss to Damian Priest helps him out at all. And I think Damian Priest had a good run, a run that people just assumed was a transitional run. He won at WrestleMania, but I think that was a good run for him. And I believe that he will lose in part due to shenanigans from his soon-to-be former faction. That is my belief anyway. But that is where I see things going for that. Bayley versus Nia Jax. Bayley is going to beat Nia Jax. And then Bayley is going to lose the championship because it's Tiffy time, everybody. Tiffany Stratton has the Money in the Bank briefcase, which she can cash in at any time. She has made friends with Nia Jax specifically so that Nia Jax will beat up Bayley. Nia Jax is going to lose, and Bayley is going to be the babyface making things happen. Nia Jax is going to, after the match, beat the shit even more out of Bayley, possibly, or she'll just leave. But either way, Tiffany Stratton is going to swoop in, make her presence felt, pick up the cheap win, the garbage win, and become the new WWE Women's Champion. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan will retain her title because Dominic Mysterio is going to side with Liv Morgan. Or perhaps Dirty Dom isn't that dirty and isn't trying to backstab Rhea Ripley. But what if Finn Balor is? Possible that Finn Balor's been the one behind this all time. Finn Balor is doing a coup to take over the Judgment Day from Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley because, God damn it, why is he listening to other people? Why isn't he the one in charge? Or whatever dumb justification they need for it. But that's my thought on it. What might be the main event? Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes retains because Roman Reigns comes back. Or Cody Rhodes retains and then Roman Reigns comes back just on his own, whatever. We are on the road to Survivor Series. Survivor Series is going to be old bloodline versus new bloodline. But Pat, there's only going to be 3 members versus 4 members. Don't worry, Cody Rhodes is going to step up to help out the old bloodline, I think. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be. But the story of going into this was that Cody doesn't have friends. Cody's friends all got beat up. Randy Orton got beat up. Kevin Owens got beat up. He doesn't have any friends. Well, Jey Uso likes him over on Raw. So I can see Jey Uso get involved. And then who's there to even the odds? Jimmy Uso. And then Roman Reigns. That's my guess about where things are going there. Ooh, this is neat. The little satellite thing. Put that right in there. We're really transforming this into a space car from a regular car. Kind of fucking neat. I honestly kind of really like this. This is a fun little build. Logan Paul defends his WWE United States Championship against LA Knight. Obviously, Logan Paul said some real fucking hot garbage today, which is not super surprising for Logan Paul. That super hot garbage does not necessarily indicate that he is going to have any sort of repercussions in his job. But I do think no matter what, he was losing because it's in Cleveland. And Logan Paul, the heel, losing in his hometown is fucking good. They have been building this for quite some time, that he's been ducking and dodging and hiding from our boy LA Knight. LA Knight has kind of been treading water, waiting for this match. He had a little feud with AJ Styles that was fine, but nothing really to write home about. This is the time. This is the place. This makes the most sense. Your new United States champion, LA Knight. The crowd goes wild. Sami Zayn defends the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker. And you say, Pat, he just fought Braun Breaker and he beat Braun Breaker clean. Yes. To push Braun Breaker to become even more of a fucking asshole and even more of a threat. I do not see Sami picking up another victory here. This feels like a defeat. This is where Sami Zayn cannot pull it off. He cannot do it twice. He did it once. He cannot do it twice. Sami Zayn loses the Intercontinental Championship to one Braun Breaker. It just really, yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time. I think Sami, I don't know what Sami does next other than maybe try to get it back. I could see Sami Zayn having to deal with the Wyatt Six. Like there's things to do with Sami that don't involve that belt. Perhaps he and Kevin Owens doing the tag run again, or it's been a while since they feuded with each other. I don't know. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross dealing with each other. Who knows? There are things that Sami can do. Those aren't great things, but there are things that Sami can do. We're using wheels as like our jets, which is a fun little bit of business here. And then CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth freaking Rollins as a special guest referee. And this one is the hardest one for me to predict. So for months now, CM Punk has been fucking with Drew McIntyre while he's been injured. He is now cleared to wrestle. He'll be in this match. But CM Punk has cost him the WWE Championship twice. He flew to Scotland specifically to cost Drew. So in light of that, you would think, okay, well, now that they're going to fight each other, the Seth Rollins of it all really does throw it in there. Because you can see angles on both sides, right? You can see, okay, well, it really makes sense for Punk to win this because he hasn't really won a lot since he's been back. He has, but whatever. But like, it would make sense. It would further the story. It would continue them going at each other. He could even have a thing where he wins and he's mad at how Rollins was a referee or Rollins attacks him after the match and you get Drew a break or whatever. It would make sense that Seth Rollins, Drew pisses Seth off. Seth goes to hit Drew. Seth hits Punk instead and has to count the 1, 2, 3. Like there's things there that could happen. There are various things that could go down here. Okay, these. Now I gotta build big guns. I'm gonna build some big old guns. Like I said, there are different scenarios, and I think it is reasonable for any of those to be the what actually goes down. If I had to today, right now, which is what I'm doing at this moment, tell you who I think wins this match, I think it is CM Punk. I think it is CM Punk, and we move to Drew versus Seth next because they're going to give Punk some rest time. Or have him go do something else. I don't know if they're going to do something else. I think Drew McIntyre should win, but that's because I don't like CM Punk. And I don't think CM Punk should be beating Drew McIntyre in a match because it's not believable to me because he's just so beat up that, like, I find it hard to believe that he could beat Drew in a match. Which, you're supposed to be able to believe that stuff, but I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't think Drew wins a match. Like, I mean, I think Drew wins every time, but I think CM Punk wants the win more, as far as backstage politics and such. Okay, so this goes up through here. Then I'm gonna build this thing. And we need 2 of these. That like that. Put that like that. So yeah, like I said, I am not going to watch this show live because I would rather stream during it. But we will talk about it once it's done. Collision, I'm going to miss like the first 25 minutes of Collision, but Collision's on early. They moved it to 5 p.m. So I am probably going to watch Collision before the stream starts. And so after the stream on Saturday, I guess I'll just watch some of, if not all of, that show. Because I think that's probably the best thing for me is to just do that. So I'm confused about where this goes. Does this go in the middle? This goes like this. Like this. Gonna be a rare time I get to watch Collision live. Yeah, I'll be able to see Collision live, which I'm happy about. I usually watch the replay after streams on Saturday, but I'm gonna miss the beginning of it. So I will watch it live and then figure out when the replay is on and try to watch that live as well. So this is supposed to go in here, and then it goes up through the center, but it's supposed to stop. And so I'm like, I think I did something wrong here. Because I don't, this doesn't, Okay, so this is going to go in like that, and that goes in like that, and I did that. Put that like that. And then this goes in the middle, and it goes up. But then this is here, and this goes like that, but then that pushes that. That doesn't work. That doesn't work because it's supposed to go here. It's like, what? What did I do? Oh, did I put this on the wrong place? Maybe that's it? No, this is, like this. This is even, so there's no, it goes like that. That goes in through. This is supposed to connect somewhere. But I don't know where it's supposed to connect. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, really annoying. Yeah, it goes in like that. It goes in like that. Does that go like that? Guess that's how it goes. This doesn't seem right. The step I'm doing right now seems like I'm doing it wrong. Like that's what I'm saying right now. It just seems like I'm not doing this correctly, and I don't know, but I don't know what I'm. It's very rare for there to be Lego instructions that I'm like, I don't know what you want from me. It's very strange and very odd for me to be like, yeah, I just don't know what you want me to do here. Put this together, put that together. This goes like that. And then this goes down into something on here. And then they connect together. And you can load it up with the weapons. And you turn them and they fire. So how did this... Let me see here. I put one of these in here. Put one of these in here. Then I turn this, and then eventually it hits this with enough force that it'll fire it out. Yes, and it fires it out. So I know that works. So that's how that works. But what would turn that? Would it be this? I guess, okay. I guess that's how it goes. Huh. Yeah, all right. I'm going to be honest, folks. This doesn't feel good or right. And it makes me feel like I'm doing it wrong, which is weird. It's a weird feeling. It doesn't, yeah. This does not feel like I did it correctly. I'm not happy about that. Huh. It might be, it's totally possible that I did do something wrong on this. That I did not assemble this, the weapon part here correctly. Oh, this is like a little doom buggy supposed to be. All right. That's fun. And then there's the 6-wheel version of this, which we can build as well, which we will do in the second hour. But let me take a photo of this thing here. We'll have to take off all the extra parts here. And then we can build a little extra thing. Put our friend on here. Yeah, it's so weird because the photo is like this flat image here. The photo, like, basically it's, I don't know where this piece connects because it makes it look like these wheels are like, it makes it look like it's flat on the top of it, but there's no way for that to work. Like there's no physical way for that to make any sense. And then they connect together and it looks like it's flat. Did I? Because I do have extra pieces, but that's, I think, for the other parts of it. Yeah, this goes in like that. And then these attach, and I'm like, I don't know why. But yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be flat on the instructions. But it definitely, that's not possible. And then it doesn't really link into the thing well. It doesn't really actually like connect here. And these just pop right out, which feels very weird. Because the whole idea is that as you turn it, it turns like the inner working here. But this thing needs to get caught and force it. And I don't know. Is one of the wheel flatter than the other? No, they're the same. They are literally the same. This is exactly the same as the other side that this thing fits into. Yeah, they are identical. This is that supposed to stick out, and then this sticks like that? Is that what it's supposed to do? But then that won't fit in there. No way. No how will that fit in there. Yeah, because that won't fit like that. Yeah, I don't know. There is something that I am missing, or, you know, outside of it not designed well, which, again, I don't necessarily think. But there is something that I am missing about this that I am just not getting. I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's weird. A little bit of this is weird in a way that I don't love, but I'm going to take a photo of it because I did finish it, and I want to take the photo. And then after the break is over, we'll work on the other thing, which is the all-terrain version of the car. We'll build the all-terrain version. So we'll do that after the pause for the cause. We'll basically like reset it and then take a photo or build the other thing. But before that, I do need to take a photo. So let me take a photo of what we've got here. All right. We don't need to take a photo of the Doom buggy. Nah, I don't need the Doom buggy. All right, we got the spaceship version done. We're going to disassemble these parts here. We're going to take off this part here. We will have to probably scavenge some of these parts from this to build the other thing. And actually, in fact, I know we will have to do that. So we will have to scavenge stuff out of these. So I'm not going to fully disassemble, but we'll just pull pieces as we need them, when we need them, from that. But this is basically back to how it was once we took these wheels off. We've done that. So now we can build the other parts that we need to build after the pause for the cause, which is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to talk to you, friends, about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You don't have to do any of these things. I am going to do the brisk version of this because there are not a lot of you watching right now, which is okay. But I do want to just, take a moment to talk about ways you can support what I do here. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw right now, please, the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You can be like Ghost Fav, we just renewed tonight, which is very kind. Again, Cash, or if you have Amazon Prime linked to your Twitch, you can use your token for somebody. Why not use it for me? Reminder that there is a promotion right now that if you have not been a subscriber to my channel before, or if you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you get 3 months of Apple TV Plus. Also, if you are a gift sub, you join the gift sub leaderboard. It's a brand new month, so you'll be top of the leaderboard. We're currently at, boom, 26 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have once we hit 40. So if you want to become a subscriber, you could do that. You could also join or be the top of the cheer leaderboard if you want to give some bits. That's always appreciated as well. Everything that I'm about to talk about, as I said, is optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you wanted to, I would love it. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. If you want to become a patron, follow the link to my Patreon. Because it would be nice. My patrons, just $10 patrons just voted on the kit that I'm going to be working on once I'm done with this Lego set. So you can see that if you want to get in on that action for the future. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Consider becoming a member. Subscribing is free, and I would love for you to do that. But why not become a member over on YouTube? And for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that went up for everybody yesterday, you would have already seen that. That would have been old news. More on that in a second. Those are all monthly ways to support me financially. If you would like to do a one-time donation to benefit the streams, you could do to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, and everything I make through direct donations through AdSense, which includes my YouTube videos. So watching those videos and either watching ads, or if you have premium, YouTube premium, so you don't see ads, that still counts for me. You could do that, and that money there, money from Patreon and money from Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to, of course, buy model kits to build. The Lego set that I'm working on came from those funds. The model kit that I'm about to start came from those funds. So thank you very much for past you helping out present me and future me. So as I said, I do have a backlog, and my patrons just decided what I'm going to be building next. And they'll help decide what I build after that, of course, unless somebody wants to buy something from my Amazon wish list, in which case the thing you bought there would jump the queue and become the next thing I build. Because that's the least I could do. If you're going to buy something, I might as well build it before anything else. I have Lego sets and model kits. I have inexpensive kits like an SDEX Astray Red frame, which is like very cheap, or the Gundam Build Metaverse Land Gundam, or La Gundam, LAH Gundam. I don't remember how it's pronounced. That's very inexpensive. All the way to like incredibly expensive kits that like I'm not expecting anyone to really buy. I'm really just using it as a way to track how expensive those kits are. But if you wanted to, if you wanted to spend $121 on the Tall Geese Flugel, which is the Tall Geese, but with the wings of the wing, the Endless Waltz wing. You could do that. Again, don't spend that much money on something for me to build, but you could. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on there. See if there's something you'd like to see me build that you want to pick up, because I would be happy to build that. Again, all these things are optional. My alternatives to that is I have a Throne wish list, which is my alternative to Amazon. And then you could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store if you want to be really convoluted about it. Then you got to send me a DM on Twitter, or a whisper here on Twitch, or a message on Blue Sky, or just one of the other services. I don't know. You could send me a message on Mastodon if you wanted to. I use Mastodon to communicate with one person who left Twitter, and they use Mastodon a lot. And he and I message each other. That's the only person, literally the only person on Mastodon I ever met private messages is one person. If you want to support me and not spend any money, if you have not joined my Discord, this is your invitation to join my Discord. It's full of lovely people. We'd love to have you there on the old Discord. Jump in. It's fun. Come check out that place. Is there anything else that I need to share with you? A couple of video links before we get back to model kit or Lego building and then start some model kit building. Pat Baer's Anime Club is my ongoing video series. I will have a new episode out on Monday, the current episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club, for your viewing entertainment. I said you're Jewing. I meant joyful viewing is what I was trying to say. Whatever. Your joyful viewing, if you want to watch Pat Baer's Anime Club, the most recent episode, go check that out. It is about the 10 shows from the first half of 2024 that I really liked. Will all of them be on my top 10 at the end of the year? Probably not. Will some of them be on my top 10 at the end of the year? Definitely. So take a look at that video if you want some recommendations. Maybe you skipped out on the spring and winter seasons and you want to know what's good. And then Kuma Baer is my ongoing video series where every single week I recommend, every Wednesday I recommend an anime, and there's a theme to every month. Even though we are currently in August, this was the last video posted in July, so it counts as being some of my favorite shows from the July season. This one is The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio, a romantic comedy about two girls who are rivals and also just try to make it. And a thing that I cannot stress enough about this show that I really enjoyed is they are not great voice actors. They're trying their damnedest, but they're not like world renowned or anything. They're just trying to make it happen. A lot of respect to that. And then also trying to figure out if they like each other or not. It's good. It's good. I have a manga that I am going to be talking about, and then an anime that I watched, an episode that I watched that we'll talk about as well. Before I get into both those things, I do need to drink some water. So we'll dramatically transition to the overhead camera here. And I'll drink some water, and we'll do that right now. All right. I don't drink water enough during the streams. That is a thing that I am acutely aware of, that during streams I don't drink enough water. So I built in a time that I would drink water. And I think that's good for me to do, but it does mean that sometimes I don't. All right, we had to remove some parts here. I haven't decided if I should fully null all of this. I think I probably should fully null everything. I should take apart just about everything here. I'm just going to take apart like loose pieces here, and then we'll find the other stuff we need. It looks like we could have done one or the other. We are going to do both because I think both is a better choice, but it does mean that we have a bunch of parts that we need to disassemble here. So we are just going to do a light disassembly of everything, and then we will find the parts that we need when we need them. We will probably have to hunt and peck a bit, but I do want to, get through some of this. And it does look like some of this is similarly built. We will need, I will need for some of these parts, the brick separator, which I will use right here. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to talk to you about a manga that I have been reading. And that manga is called You Won't Kill Me This Time, Crown Prince. It is not an isekai. The this time should clue you in at this point, even if these are not, kinds of manga that you read yourself. It should probably cue you in that this is a regression story, a time travel story. Our main character is murdered, and she is sent back in time to when she is 6 years old. Lizelle is a noblewoman, but she's noble in name only. Her area that she is the daughter of, her parents have died. We do not know exactly what happened to them, but we do know that she was raised by her grandfather, and her whole region is pretty poor. So she is a country bumpkin. She makes the decision to go to the Royal Academy. She studies very hard to get into the Royal Academy, and she is going to become a royal magician. She'll work for the court, and then that way she'll have a good paycheck, and she will earn enough money to send that money back to the area. She's basically like probably won't see her family again, won't be able to afford to travel to them, but it doesn't matter. We learn all this in the first chapter about like her story. She works really hard. It's rough work, but the pay is good, and she doesn't mind it. And she's not the most brilliant magician there is, but she's hardworking, and she's trying her best, and she's gonna make it happen, and she's gonna take care of her family. Along the way, she meets a guy, and this guy's pretty fucking rad. He's like really got it together, and they have a great rapport. He's the crown prince, and that makes things awkward because people are like, oh, she seduced him. She's a noble woman, but like clearly not on his level. He doesn't mind that. He loves her. They're going to get married. It's going to work out. The king's going to see her way. It's all going to work out for them. Except it doesn't. Because the Saintess shows up. And the Saintess seems to be brainwashing people. We don't quite know. It's very clear that she's got it out for our main character. Is this secretly an isekai where she is playing a game and the Saintess like is trying to win? That's possible. I have no evidence to support that at this point, but it is certainly possible that that's what's happening in this manga. But right now, what we do know is she's accused of a crime, and she has, she fully believes in her innocence. She's like, I don't even know she's not even sure what crime she's being accused of. But whatever it is, she dies. Literally, the crown prince, who seems in complete duress at that moment, kills her. And then she wakes up and she's 6 years old again. And she's mad, right? Like, she can't get revenge. But what she can do is fucking not deal with this shit in the goddamn future. That is her plan. Her plan is, I'm going to go to a different school. I'm not going to go to the Royal Academy. I'm going to go to the National Academy. I'm going to be the top of the class. I'm going to do so great in school that any place around me will offer me a really good job. I won't ever meet the Saintess. I won't ever meet the Crown Prince because I won't work in the Royal Palace. I am just going to go to the school, do well, and then go back to my family, to my grandpa and the people that raised me in the town that loves me. And that's her big plan. She excels at magic because she had like 18 years previously to learn it. So now as a 6-year-old, she has all her remaining knowledge. She has techniques that she can use to train herself to increase her mana pool. And she's like, this is going to work out great. Except a memory that she didn't remember. When she was a child, she did meet someone. And that's the best friend, the childhood friend of the Saintess. And of course, she doesn't want anything to do with this guy because he always gave her bad looks and he was always nasty to her. But she ends up saving his life and fundamentally changing this dude. Because she says she's going to the National Academy when she's older. He goes to that school. And of course, he should be going to the Royal Palace, the Royal Academy, but he doesn't go there because he's in love. And she never really fully puts that together because she's still got trauma, from dying. And she still hasn't ran into the Crown Prince, but that doesn't matter. That's on purpose. But she makes friends because she's at a different school and she's got a different attitude. She's got a rivalry with this dude, or the former childhood friend. And her life is kind of it's changed. Her life is different. And again, one of the things we do have is trauma. There are moments when she is fighting against this guy that he reminds her of the Crown Prince that she genuinely loved and still kind of can't fucking believe that he betrayed her. And it still weighs on her. She's still dealing with it. There's a whole little sub story where she kind of freaks out and passes out because she can't kind of deal with it. But she has good friends, and it's very clear that there's another guy that's interested in her and definitely fucking pissed off that she's interested in this dude, because it was like, oh, well, oh man, okay, well, I guess I fucked that up. The point where I left off, she has a job. She got a job locally. They gave her a tentative offer. She's got a job set up for when she's done with school. She's all set. She's going to live with her family. Her friends are going into they're going to work for the kingdom. She inspired them to work hard. They're very excited about their future. She's excited about her future. Everything's kind of worked out. The guy that she was rivals with, that she is still trying to be on friendly terms with. I need to find a white. Okay. connector piece here. I know I have 2 of them because I previously built with this piece. There it is. I found it. It had other pieces on it, so I couldn't see it. Yeah, the person she's had good rapport with, even though it was a rivalry, she eventually, like, he's got a job somewhere else. She's not going to really interact with him. That's great. So when the Saintess appears, you know, she won't run into the Saintess. She won't run into the Crown Prince. She's not going to go back to her former job. Things have finally worked out for her. And then the other shoe drops. Where I have left off in the manga, it is revealed that the Crown Prince has enacted a new policy that the top scoring students at both the National Academy and the Royal Academy have a new job. They are automatically enrolled in a job working for the Royal Palace as basically personal guards. So her job has been canceled. She has no say in it, of course, because it's royalty. We may see her try to fight it or think about leaving. But right now, fate has cruelly given her the job of, at some point, working for and probably meeting the Crown Prince, who is, I guess, at least aware of her. We don't know what that's going to lead to. We still haven't met the Saintess in this life, but certainly that's going to be a fucking problem when that comes up. And it's a real, plot, it's not like a plot twist, it's a plot development. It is I think we're about to hit the slow life phase of this manga where there will be twists and turns, but really it just seems like fate is saying, hey, you're going to have to deal with this shit. Like, sorry, lady, you're going to have to be dealing with all of these circumstances that you have worked hard to avoid. Sorry, you don't get to avoid them. Instead, you got to fucking deal with this stuff. It is a really engaging story. I think it's very fun. There are some parts that are eye-rolly because it's like, come on, girl, you got to be able to notice this, that these boys like you. Like, you can't even be like, oh, I never had time for relationships in my past life, because you did have time for one relationship in your past life. So what's up with this one? So it's a little weird in that. But other than that one thing that feels a little glaring, it's a very strong story. That's called You Won't Kill Me This Time, Crown Prince. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. Ooh, got a little... All right, so we got our vehicle here. We're building our little vehicle. Getting this together. I need 6 of these and 3 of these. I got to put all these together like that. Okay, I got this. I know what this wants from me. I need 6 of these. I need 3 of these so I can find them all here. Normally I would have nulled, but, trying to get through this build here. I am hoping that this build makes more sense to me than the previous one. It's so rare to have a Lego set where I'm like, I don't know what they want me to do here. So strange. Anyway, I've got an anime to talk about. Let's talk about this episode, Oshi no Ko, which does... This episode of Season 2 of Oshi no Ko is a lot of young people speaking their mind, and is engaging, and was enjoyable. Was this, is it about the characters I particularly care about? Kind of, and also not really. But it did return to some characters we haven't seen in a while, so that was nice. I'll kind of go through that here. This is episode 5. Everybody kind of eats together. We've got a bunch of characters kind of just trying to interact with each other. And it is Akane watches some tapes of how Aqua used to act, his previous acting roles, and she kind of gets an understanding of why his acting style that he uses is the way it is, which is basically just that he's just an adult. He was just like an adult reading lines, but he was a kid, so it was impressive at the time. I think I put this together right. We'll find out here. that goes like that, and then the other one is... Okay, so that goes like that. And I need a white bend. Look here. Well, there it is. Did I do this right? Yes, I did this right. Okay. Taishi and Akane kind of discuss stuff, and then there's a lot of interpersonal conversations, some of which we don't really know everything that's being said, some of which we're like, oh, okay. We're getting a little more understanding about the various characters and what they're dealing with. We're going to build this by 2 here. Okay, so this goes in like that. Nope, where is it? There it is. I found another one that I need. So that goes in like that. Oh, we need 4 of these, huh? So I need 2 of those. I need 4 wheels. I need 4 of these things. And then I need 2 grays, and I need 2 black. You're asking for 4 of these. Sorry, everybody. I'll figure out what they want. Okay, that's what they want. All right, great. I have figured out what they wanted, everybody. We're doing this. We're building rockets. We're building some rockets here. We're building tire rockets, apparently. So that's fun. Okay, so Akane asked Aqua why he pursued acting. He does not know. She does not know, I should say, why he's an actor. And it's one of those things where you're like, well, his sister is also acting, like their mother was a singer and an idol group. Like, I don't know. To me, it's one of those things where, like, it's very clear, yeah, he doesn't necessarily love acting, but, like, it makes sense why he would pursue those dreams, even if they're not his dreams. But she's really just, like, pushing him. And she's like, well, I'm doing acting because I think it's really fun and I really enjoy it. That's why I'm doing all of this. And he's like, what would you do if I told you that it's a murderous reason why I'm doing this? Like, what would you say to that? Which is like very fucking emo teen, like emo, like, oh yeah, well, what? I have a dark reason for doing this, and it's just like, all right, come on, dude. I mean, yes, you are. He is investigating a murder, his own murders, of him in a different life, but still, just very fucking emo, my dude. I need to find the 4th of this. I have 3 of them here, and I have 2 red. I have enough red. Where is the 4th one of these? It's gray, and I need it, and I don't see it here. Here it is. I found it. All right. Basically, she's like, I still support you, which is fucking wild. But Akane's whole thing, and we find out later, and I'll just say it now. Apparently, Akane got inspired by Kana early in life, and that is the reason why they are rivals. Because it's always been a thing where, like, why is she like, why are they like this with each other? What's going on there? And it seemed like maybe it was like, well, is it because, like, she likes the brother, so that's why she's like mad and jealous? It's like, no. Apparently, Akane wants Aqua's help to prove that Akane is a better actress than Kana. And a lot of that's going there. And then they've got to help Aqua because the various things that the acting that is going to be happening is going for this new script that is getting made is going to require our boy to actually act. Like, he's going to have to really emote and really do this thing. He's going to have emotional acting, not just can he memorize a script? Can he say the lines that he needs to say? Like, he's going to have to kind of fucking go for it, it seems like. Let's see. I need one of these, and I need one of... One of these. Great. So I did that. And then I need another one of the yellow pieces here. We're just building a whole goddamn apparatus. Getting a whole apparatus together. Okay. Then we see Ruby and Minami and Melt. And we haven't seen Melt in a while. This is a side story that is somewhat engaging and somewhat interesting to me. I was like kind of surprised that I'm super into this. These are, again, kind of minor characters. They might become more important later, but right now they're a bit of a minor characters to deal with here. All right, so I need a long gray and a shorter black. We got that. Shorter black. Like a big roll cage, I think we're building here. Oh, and I was supposed to build two. I was supposed to build another one of these. Oh, yeah, that's right, because these are got big wheels coming on them, so. I was supposed to build this twice, so I got to go back and build it all over again. But I can at least put this on here. This connects like this. This connects like that. Whoop, okay. That goes on there. Great. So now I just need to go back and I need to do all of this again. And the first thing I need to do is find a red piece that I don't see anywhere that I will need. I do need a little red because piece that I have not been able to find anywhere here. I must have taken it apart. So now I have to go through all this stuff, look underneath everything. These wheels I will need, you know, at some point. So I can put these wheels over here just to get them out of the way. But I need to find this red piece here. Got to find that red piece. And it is not anywhere in these builds, which means that I might have pushed it aside. But then where did I put it? Nope, nothing there. And this is why you properly null, everybody. But like I said, looking through this, I don't see it. And it's not in the leftover parts from other things. So I don't know. And I put 4 red in here. That's what you're supposed to do. I found it. It was underneath my brick separator. It was like this. That's not where I was expecting it to be. I would not have guessed that it would be in the brick separator. So now I got to build this thing just like I built the last one. Go through, we'll do that. Oh yeah, so again, Ruby and Minami and Melt. Ruby asks Melt a bunch of questions about Aqua, trying to learn more about that dude. Minami just tells Ruby, like, hey, you should probably just, like, leave Aqua and Akane alone. Like, don't interfere. Just let them do their thing. And that, because apparently, like, Ruby is convinced that they're fucking. And, like, he's like, oh, yeah, you don't have to worry about it. It's like, it's not like you get her pregnant or anything. Ruby asked Melt to go to escort her to the restroom, which is a bad timing because then Kamoshida shows up and immediately starts flirting with Minami, who is alone, and then Melt is like, hey, actually, there's somebody that I want to talk to you. Like, let's go. Basically, just acting as trying to cock block. Melt is basically like, hey, I totally lied. I know this isn't cool, and I know you're a piece of shit. So then basically Melt gets told off about what his acting abilities are, which is just like one of those things like, hey, I think you're a piece of shit. And he's like, yeah, you're not a good actor. She's like, okay, all right, my guy. And then basically apparently beyond the whole flirting thing, Ruby also got Kamoshida's number or line ID, and they're like, yeah, hey, you shouldn't fucking text this dude. He's bad news. And then blocks his number from Ruby's contacts. And then we apparently fast forward some time. We're getting ready for the stage play. And apparently this is where we learn that Akane used to study and used to be a big fan of Kana. And now that's not the case, and they have it out. There's a whole like argument rant. It like gets very personal. They're really going to town on each other, on their various opinions of one another. It's like a lot. There's some okay lines in this one, but it is very, very high school drama stuff. And then just like, it is clearly not just about Aqua, but certainly partially about Aqua. Kana kind of explains herself a bit. And basically they're like, what is it? Oh, it's Taiki is just like, look, you're both good actors. But Kana has people on her side that are gonna, make it so that she's gonna do better. But like, this doesn't really matter because what we need to do is all work together, and like, there's no way around it. Like, we all gotta like, basically, it's time for basically a team. Everybody's got to be on the same page. I'm looking for another of these red pieces apparently, and I had such trouble finding this one that I don't know if there even is another one for me to find. So that's fun. Like, I literally don't know. I literally don't have another one of these red connecting pieces or part of this vehicle. Again, it's probably somewhere. I just don't know where that somewhere is. I'm going to look underneath a bunch of stuff here. Look there. Look there. I'm looking under my mat because sometimes stuff rolls in under the mat or gets pushed in under the mat. Did I drop any pieces? Weird. I don't know. I don't know where this piece is that I need. So I'm like, okay. Kind of scrambling, looking at what I have in front of me. Very strange. I'm just going to go through everything here right now. See if I can make this appear. I also need I need this piece. I'm just going to get out all the pieces that I need. I need this piece. I need this piece. I need something to connect these two together, which I don't have right now. Then I need this piece and this piece. So I need those. And that's it. That connects everything together. I just need something to connect these two, which I don't readily see in front of me, which is weird, right? It's like a weird thing to not be able to find it. As we go back, I needed 2 red there, which I used, and I needed 4 red to connect that together, which we had. I didn't use anything. I didn't use any reds there. Strange. I guess I could just not build that little part, but I want to, so it's weird that I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Is there do I have anything that would work in place of that? This won't work for that. These won't work for that. Well, actually, you know what? This kind of does. Great. We're just going to do this. This is not the actual solution. This is not the right piece. It's not going to look perfect, but it will work. And so we're just going to go with it because I don't know where that one little piece is. I'm sure I'll find it. I'm sure it's like underneath my keyboard or... Well, it's not, but I'm sure it's somewhere. I just don't know where it is, and it's not essential to getting this put together. So there. Again, not exactly what they need, but it works. It's all about the pieces you can't use. Yeah, sure. Anyway, that's basically the end of this episode. Aqua confirms that he hasn't really gotten his internal emotions ready, but he's going to give his best shot. And then the next episode is about the stage play starting. So that'll be the next episode. So this episode was a lot of drama. It was, hey folks, guess what? I found the piece I need. It's these two things were connected. So you're like, because I need one of these. There's the piece that I needed. It was stuck in there. I didn't fully disassemble this. That's why I couldn't find it. But now I have found it. And then I can do this. I could do that. Do that. And that's good in case I need one of these pieces for something else, which I don't think I'm going to, but we're going to finish this thing off. We might go a little longer because I do want, yes, the secret red piece. I do want to finish this off. Yeah, again, this was all drama. I think the side story stuff was kind of interesting. I'm much more interested in, like, again, the thing about this show that I want more of that they don't necessarily want to give me is the murder mystery elements of it. I'm hoping for more of that. It almost looked like Aqua was going to let Akane know what's going on. And I was like, well, this is episode 5. I feel like that's probably not what's going to happen right now. But it was still interesting that it almost happened. Or at least we teased that that shit was going to happen. So I was like, that's kind of interesting. The story is still, fun. I still like the series. I'm still going to be watching it. I am not as enamored with Oshinoko Season 2 so far, 5 episodes in, as I was with Season 1, where Season 1 was like, even when it was just like, here's this high school shit, it was like, well, it was still paced in a way, and the suicidal tendencies stuff, the whole element of them in the reality show and what isn't reality, the idea of trying to form a group and perform Kana's mom's songs, like so much of that was just like in my opinion a bit more lively than the stage play arc that we are currently in. But again, it could totally change, and it could pick up once we get into the actual acting part. It's one of those things where I'm like, this show kind of feels like it forgets some of the stuff that it's trying to do, which is a weird thing to say. But now it's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? Are you playing any video games? What's going on? What are you into? I always like to hear from you about that stuff. While I give you time, I will say that I have completed every single build in Mech Builder. I have built all of the kits. I have painted most of them. I have done decals. I have not gotten into the kit bashing. I am going to try that out. But I have enjoyed Mech Builder quite a bit. It was a good time. And I'm happy that I enjoyed my time with Mech Builder. And I'm glad that I have now built everything to build in it. I got that game for free. I received a code for it. But that is a game that I checked out a demo on the Steam demo stream that we did from StreamNet, the summer Next Fest. Another game that we checked out on that day, I've requested a code for, and it comes out in August this month. I'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. There's no guarantee that I will get a code for it. I have gotten a code from other games from this indie publisher, and I do expect to get it. And if not, I will just simply pick up the game because I really liked it. So that's exciting. Over in Hearthstone, I can tell you that I have two decks that I really like. One is an amalgam deck. There is a card that is a 1/2. It's a 1-cost 1/2. It's an amalgam. So it's a pirate, it's a dragon, it's a beast, it's an undead, it's everything. That's what amalgam means in the game. And its death rattle goes back into your deck and keeps all enchantments. Now, generally, when you use a card to give another card like +1/+1, or give a card rush, or give a card poison, or something like that, when it dies, it would lose that. So even if you resurrected that card, it wouldn't have the same stats on it anymore. But in this case, it does keep those stats because you are putting it so when it goes back in your deck. So the idea is you beef up a card really highly, and then you have other cards that pull it back from your deck. And so it's very easy to overrule your opponent. Now, that does mean that some people now run things to help beat that. They run silence effects, various things, or they run remove a card from the game. They'll do things like that, which does, counter your deck. But not everyone's running cards like that, which is very fun. It is a good nonsense deck that I'm really enjoying. I have a lot of fun playing that particular silly experience. And so I like that. And then there's a boar deck. There is a 1/1 with a death rattle. When 7 of these die, you get a weapon. It is the weapon from the South Park episode. That's right. They actually put that fucking weapon from the joke in South Park, became a real thing. It is a 15/3. You do 15 damage. When you swing the weapon, your opponent goes down to 0 mana. So they'll get 1 more mana. And it resets the mana every time you swing. But that means that you only have 2 copies of the boar. It needs to die 7 times. There's some new cards that make that really easy. There's a card that pulls a 1/1 from your deck. So that makes it really easy to get it on the board. There's a new resurrection card that works really well. They redid raise a card that that already exists. That card got redone, and now is way easier to, or it does even helps out more. Anyway, it's a lot easier. And again, there are ways for that to go bad. There are ways for that to not work out. Specifically, okay. Hold on. I just realized where my mistake was. When these weapons didn't work right? There was a step that I missed. I just realized it now because I'm rebuilding these. Okay. Where are you? Where are you, weapons step? Where are you, weapons step? You're over here? Yes, here you are. Okay. This is the step I missed. It's right here. Step 44, it's this piece. This piece had to fit into there. And when it fit into the there, that's how it would be able to, when it had the connection piece to go in like that or whatever. I fucked up. I fucked up. I was supposed to put this in and I didn't. But now on this step, and then that would make it flat, because that was the thing, right? It wasn't flat. But this time I will do it on this other version for the rolling thing, I will do it correctly. Oh, that's so infuriating that I fucked that up. I really did fuck that up. Oh, that's maddening to me. Anyway, the board deck is really fun, and I really like playing it. I'm having a good time with that particular deck. So I have two decks. I have a hunter deck and I have a priest deck, and I like both of them, and they're both very silly. And they are both very fun for me personally to play. All right, so I got to build two of these, which I didn't realize. Oh, I'm so mad. That was the problem I was dealing with this whole time, and I had no idea that was why it didn't fit right. Is because there was this white piece that I just completely missed and didn't attach. Oh, I'm not going to redo it because it kind of worked, but it is annoying. That's what happened. So anyway, if something feels really wrong in Lego, there's a good reason for it. Like it's probably you. That is how I feel about that. It might not be you, but it possibly could be you. All right, and here is the final build of this kit. It needs to go into here. And there's the weapon. So now we've got the all-terrain version of the car. I did not know when I was building this that I thought we were just building the space car. I thought we were literally just building this. And I didn't realize that we also had the regular car version and the all-terrain version. And I think that's fucking cool that there are so many versions of this thing. And you get this little spaceship with a monkey on it if you want that. So I really love that. Now, what have you been writing? My apologies. I got so focused. Lashbrook watched the 1997 movie Masterminds, hoping something more akin to Hackers. But instead, I got a Die-Hard clone that focused more on the computer skills than guns, with Patrick Stewart playing Hans Gruber. Still enjoyable. Yes, it has been a long time since I watched Masterminds. I remember that game being okay. Ghostfowl says, still doing Elden Ring. I'm back on my Transformers comic kick. Hell yeah, you're back to that. That's awesome. I hope you have a great time reading more Transformers. And Lord Crashton says, I got the new Tomb Raider special edition and still fun, weird game. Oh, sorry. The Toomba. I thought you said Tomb Raider. You meant the Toomba special edition. It's still a fun, weird game. Okay. Yes. Toomba is weird. I'm glad you're having a good time. Because Tomb Raider's not that weird. So I was like, what? What's happening? It was me. It was me. Hi. I'm the problem. It was me. I was that problem. I messed up that joke. But you get it. Anyway, we didn't even start the Black Knight Squad Rudroa. I thought this was going to take half of tonight's stream. It took the whole stream, because I didn't realize that we were going to be building alternate vehicle versions of this kit. I'm glad we did, because I think this kit's pretty fucking neat. And I think this looks cool as hell. So I am happy that we did what we did. Lord Crash says, while I'm in the first season of Lost, I decided to also start Prison Break to add to the mid-2000s drama rewatches. Oh boy. Hey, I'm going to make a prediction, Lord Crashington. Look, I know you from this, right? I don't know you. I'm going to predict, Lord Crashington, that you are going to stop watching Prison Break at a certain point, and you are never going to finish Prison Break, because most people gave up on that show. I think Prison Break is pretty cool up until the point where it fucking isn't cool anymore and isn't good. Maybe you'll feel differently, but yeah. I don't think Prison Break can keep up with the shit that it was doing. So, you've done it once, you can do it again. I mean, good on you. Anyway, that's the end of tonight's stream. I have completed a Lego set that I legitimately thought I would finish like an hour in. I thought we would take the pause for the cause and I would start a model kit. That was not the case. But I know what we're building next, so that's good. It's always good to know. And I know what we're doing now, which is we are going to go find someone who is doing cool shit and go hang out with them because it's the end of the stream. So we're going to wrap up our Thursday by going and hanging out with other people. I would love to go hang out with Ian Horner over at Loading Ready Run, but I know that he's going to be wrapping up his stream because we overlap on Thursdays, which is a shame. Let's see. Who should we go hang out with? Who's doing things and things? Okay. Let's go hang out with Arthur Geese. Arthur is playing Gears of War 2, which is fun. So let's go hang out with let's go hang out with Arthur. Garther there. Oh yeah, let's go hang out with Arthur as he plays some Gears of War 2, and I think that'll be a fun end of the stream for us. Reminder that I'm streaming this Saturday. I'm not going to watch SummerSlam live. Instead, I'm going to stream here with y'all. We're going to work on the Rudroa, which is a cool-looking mobile suit that does have a beam cape by the end of it, and some cool weapons. And I'm excited to work on that show. And a model kit with no polycaps. I love that so much. So please hit the raid button here so that we can go on this raid. We're going to go hang out with Arthur. It's going to be a fun time. I hope to see you on Saturday for more model kit building and hanging out. Talk to you soon, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye.